Hey guys, Dakota Adney here. Today I'm going to show you guys a few of the little shots I did in extreme planking and how I did them, how I tracked them and everything. Here's the video. You should check it out if you haven't already. You can click the annotation right here around the video to watch the full thing. Alright, let's jump into After Effects so I can show you guys some of the shots, some of the more difficult shots. The intro, pretty simple. I just added color correction, letterbox, and the lens flare there. Here's without the lens flare. It just adds a little bit of coolness to it, I guess. Escalator shot, as we move on. Here's the footage that I took inside the mall. It's just handheld footage on my 60D, just the escalators moving probably 20-25 seconds. I then had my actors, I don't have the original footage anymore, but I had them actually plank on the stairs, like where you would walk instead of up on the handrail, because that'd be really hard. I had him plank on the stairs, and then I took a screenshot of that, or a still image, and cut them out. Here he is right there. He was on the stairs there, but I cut him out, and then moved him up onto the rail area. And I did a little bit of feathering and stuff to make it look like it actually fit up there. I also did that for Seth. Here is Seth's little thing. He was planking on the stairs. I moved him up there. I had to use paint a little bit on his feet, because they were a little bit cut off from the stairs. So if you look real close, you can kind of see his arm's a little weird looking, but I just kind of fixed it with paint to make it look presentable. So I put him up there. I added shadow under Seth just to make it look like he fit under there a little better. And then for tracking, I had one of my friends run over in an earlier shot and put a little green dot, one of those tracking stickers that I used in the Julius Caesar tutorial, and I just watched it as it went up, and then I had another one coming down at the same time, and I tracked those, applied null objects to them, and then put on color correction letterbox, and they stick to the handrails. I had to roto that lady's head, by the way. That took a while because her hair is kind of frizzy. Moving on. Standing thing. I had him stand next to this public parking sign, and they just kind of, I just told him to stand there and look cool, and I zoomed out and panned up to that little parking thing. So the first thing I did was replace the sign from public parking to public planking and track that on there using Mocha. So that stuck really well. And what else? I added the rack focus to make it look kind of cool when it came in. I also added color correction, letterbox. Oh, and when I panned up, I almost forgot about that. When I pan up to the sign up here, I used Mocha to track the huge P, and I stuck a still frame of Alec, who was planking on the sidewalk. So I took some footage of him planking on the sidewalk, took a still frame of it, and just cut him out and stuck him up there. There he is. I added a little bit of shadow underneath him to make it look like he actually fit in there. The train scene. This one, I actually pre-comped. Let me go into the pre-comp here. I set the camera on a tripod. We just took turns laying on the track back and forth. So these are actually all little separate pictures. I just took a screenshot of when we were in full planking position and then masked us out and positioned us everywhere. Okay, there's all of us. And then the train, we did not do this when a train was coming. We couldn't, that'd be really dangerous and whatnot. So I just took a picture that I found on Google of a train. It's right here. Let me turn this mask off so you guys can see it. Okay, it's just a picture of a train. So I cut it out using the mask tool. Turn that mask back on. Cut it out, stuck it over here, and did a little bit of color correction because here's what it looked like before. It's a little bit too contrasted and saturated, so I turned on some color correction. And then basically to get it to animate on the track, I just keyframed position and scale. So it starts really small back here, and then I just had it scale up. That's pretty much it. It doesn't look too good if you look at it really carefully, but I think it worked. And then, if I go back into the train, I just added color correction, letterbox, and then a camera shake to better sell the effect. Bench press. Here is Seth in Academy, and I just had him bench this bar with these big red things on the end of it. I then tracked these points with Mocha, tracked them separately, and then I have this null object that kind of, that's the wrong one. There it is. Follows the pole, that null object does. So I then took a picture of me right here, and I was planking the bench. I can't turn the mask off. I just planked the bench, and then I used paint to fix my legs. They were a little bit cut off from some of the bars and stuff. And then I just kind of put it where it looked right, and parented to the tracking layer, so I go up and down with the pole. And then I added some shadow on his chest to make it look like I was actually hovering above him right here. Just used a black solid to add some darkening to his chest. And there we go. And then again, letterbox color correction. Simple stuff. The car one. This is actually, you might have seen it on Freddie Wong's channel. He did it where Brandon fell underneath their RV and he drove over them. So I just kind of used that idea, changed it up a little bit. I don't know how he recorded it, but what I did was have Alec lay in the street and plank. I don't have that original footage. I don't know what I did with it. I just had him plank right there in the parking lot. Then I took another little clip of the car pulling in, and then I took a still frame of him planking in the parking lot, which is right here. There's the still frame. Turn the mask off. Okay, there's the original. There's the original thing. So I cut him out just so he was separated from the background. I then used mocha to track these little pebbles and these little spots on the concrete so that he sticks onto the same footage as the car. So he's not actually there right now. That was from a different shot. I just tracked him onto there. Added a little bit of shadow around him. And then when the car comes over, this is where it got a little bit tricky. When the car comes over, it looks good until right there, and it starts looking kind of crappy. So I had to roto out the front of the car. There's my car mat. I wrote it out the front so it looks like he's going under. But then you have to worry about that shadow thing, because when it goes over him, he's going to turn darker because he's not in direct light anymore. So I made another copy of him, just duplicated it, and then added a brightness and contrast to it, and just kind of keyframed. You can see that square. Just kind of keyframed it up there, and just kind of messed with it until I got it to look right. That's about it. It's under the car. Fire trucks. There weren't any really special effects on this other than the optical flares that I added to the flashing lights on the fire truck. I thought that made it look really cool. I added the blue and red optical flares going back and forth. Let me turn those on. I thought that made it look really cool. And then just the same old stuff, color correction and letterbox. Now onto the hood scene. Here we have Drew planking on the hood of my mom's Suburban, put the green screen up in front of the garage door, and I took the leaf blower and blew his hair so that it looked like he was actually moving in the wind and stuff. His shirt was moving. So I took this, I keyed out the green, put a little mask around him. Whoops, let me go over here. So there he is after I keyed it out. I had to fix his legs a little bit because it was the green screen was kind of messed up there. Okay, go back to the hood. And I don't know what's up with his legs right now, but I just positioned him up there, tracked the windshield wipers with mocha, and now you can see that he sticks to the tracking that I put on the windshield wipers. I had to do a little bit of color correction to wash out the whites a little bit because it didn't look right when he was sitting up there. Okay, ambulance. That's about it. Outro, really simple. Just optical flares and a little guy there that I had on the t-shirts. So that's about it, guys. I enjoy doing these VFX breakdowns. If you guys want to see any of my other effects, just post a comment or send me a message or something, and I'd be glad to show you guys how I do it. Thanks for watching.